Hey guys, how's it going? I'm going to be showing you how to make a really cool Supersaw sound with a riser and show you how to do like some of the macro elements to it to make it like pitch up, like sound really cool, and the cut off and the vibrato and some glide. Now get that out of the way. To make this sound, I'm going to be using all three oscillators. You guys can pretty much copy the weight positions and the amps towards each of my sounds. For the first oscillator, going to be using the acid, the analog. The second one, we're going to be using the Pulsar PVM, and the third one the same. Going to make the pitch to 12. Copy all these. The second one, the oscillator, is going to be 0 pitch, and the third one is going to be 24. Let me show you how this sounds. I made like a sample loop. Pretty cool. So that was the cutoff effect I use, and we also have the pitch one, which I'll show you later. So really quick, just copy all the oscillators. Make sure you do bend minus plus in the first one. Drag all the knobs to filter 1 on all of them. And alright, so let's get started with the filter. For filter 1, we're using a low pass 4. Don't worry about all the yellow macro stuff yet. I'll show you how to do that. Just make sure all of your knobs are accurate to mine. I mean, you could add more resonance, but what happens is if you add too much, it makes it too like on the high end when you're using the cutoff macro. For the effects, we're going to be using a dimension expander. Copy all the knobs. The second one, make a reverb to make it really loud, or really wide. And for the EQ, we're going to add some high shelf, some boost. And, I mean, you could take a little bit of low shelf away. But listen to the difference, how it sounds without these compared to it. Listen. See how like flat it sounds? This is the difference. It brings it life so much better. Now the sound's going to get even better. I didn't show you the full thing. The key thing is to go to the voicing tab, turn on the pitch cutoff, and drag it slightly to the right just to give it some more life. Make sure it's on centered. You want it to pan somewhat. Make sure it's on polyphonic. And now most of these sounds on here are built with one voice. We're going to drag it all the way up to 16, so it makes it really thick. So now listen to this. Also, make sure filter 2 is turned off, the volume's turned off, the mix is all the way up to 1, so everything's boosting out of the one filter. See how much life the sound has now? It sounds awesome. A key thing what I also did is I like having like white noise in the background, or like I actually like the sound of the tape noise. Just copy the color and the amp. It's just like I like to have that difference in the background, like building with the sound, so like it adds some life and some like high end to it. We're gonna go click envelope 4. Make sure you copy the settings I have. Like I said, don't worry about the macro. Just make sure you can actually click and drag. See, like you can click and drag that. Make sure all the knobs are the same. Oscillator tab. Okay, make sure you turn your pitch bend up and your pitch bend down. And what happens is you want to make sure that's upright, so when you later on when you're editing your pitch, it's actually going to pitch up to 12 notes instead of, I think the default is 2. Okay, so to make your vibrato and use the macros, let me show you from scratch. Okay, so you click on the compass little thing right there, drag it, and then you click on the 1 and drag up, and that's going to make the yellow macro connect from that area and go to that extent of where you drag it to. And it should be about there. And what that does, it's gonna add like some like echo to the sound, like some life to it. it's kind of hard to hear. Let me take the reverbs and stuff off. It kind of adds like a harmony, like a little extra life to it also. So that's a pretty cool effect that you can like drag out at the end of sequences and stuff like that. The next is the cutoff. You want to click and drag that on the cutoff and make it so like that. And that, what it does is you drag that all the way down, and it's going to make the sound like really sick. Like after a breakdown or something like that, you want to. That's what that whole thing's about. But mine sounds really cool because I have it linked on there. Make sure you copy the 2 on there, and you go into the 4th oscillator and drag it on there. So what it's going to do is when the sound is really cut off, it's going to pluck like boom, 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 boom. And as it's rising, it's also bringing the level to this up, which is going to add more amp to the sound. It's going to make it super thick. And that's key because you can take this off and watch how it'll sound. It'll sound like a pluck. If you want to sound like that, that's cool too. Listen. So click that, drag it on the level, make sure it's about like halfway. Alright, so that's a cool effect. For the macro, for the pitch, you know how like all those cool songs have the risers like going all the way up and everything like that? What they do is they macro it, so you're gonna click and drag the compass thing onto here, which will control the pitching of all 3 oscillators, and make sure it's up to 12. And go back to oscillator tab, make sure these are 12 as well. So that way when the sound's pitching, it's all in unison at 12 pitch. I don't think I missed anything else. They have the feedback tab up. Oh, for the LFO5. I just want to add some like background life to it. What I did was I clicked and dragged it on this tab, the bottom one, and I invertedly scrolled down with it so it brought up the gray instead of the green. I think normally it's like that. So you click sync, and I put 1/16, and so what that's going to do, listen to what it does. It adds some like background life to it. You can hear like that stutter like in the background, like. And that just like gives it like an extra groove to sound. So it's not really boring. I don't think I missed anything else. I think that's pretty much it. You click in here to like get exactly the waveform that you want. The glide is the only other thing I didn't talk about, which is I'll show you in the next tutorial. Which it's kind of I'm gonna make like a Showtek kind of sound, like a K. Drew kind of sound. It's gonna sound really sick. So I'll get to the glide in the next tutorial. Just make sure you stay tuned. Just listen and play with the pitch. I'll show you real quick. So that's pretty much it. So make sure you check it out and do the best that you could. If you have any questions or anything, just let me know. And like I said, I'm going to have another tutorial on like a Showtek K. Drew kind of sound. Thanks.